Hello, and thank you so much for joining us. I'm very excited to be a part again this year of the Morris Murdock Travel annual roadshow. This is really exciting. Under little different circumstances this year, I can't meet with you in person as in years past. So things are a little bit different as we do all of this virtually moving forward, at least for the little for time coming up. So we're talking about Viking today. And our wonderful partners in the beautiful state of Utah, Morris Murdock Travel, who put on this amazing roadshow. Thank you for doing that. We're all hoping to get back out there again to travel the world, to explore and experience. So today, I just want to give you a couple of new information that we're doing here at Viking. Of course, go also about product that has been added during the last year since I saw you in person on the last show. But like I said, we can't wait to get back on our small ships, which is a great advantage. These are not large ships with thousands of people on there. Our river ships only 190 passengers. So small ships owned by Viking, privately owned. So we fully control the product here. In the duration of this presentation, excuse me, I'm also going to go over some of the new health protocols and things that we're doing at Viking to prevent the spread of any diseases on board. Now, on Viking, I just wanted to give you a little bit of information. If you've never been on a river cruise, if you've never been with Viking, one of the most popular products that we have at Viking is, of course, the Rhine Getaway, this wonderful 8-day journey along the Rhine River that starts or ends in Amsterdam and sails between Amsterdam and Basel, Switzerland, with amazing opportunities to spend some extra time in the beautiful city of Basel, Lucerne, Lake Como in Italy, and Amsterdam. Now, really nice about this particular itinerary is that we're touching on 4 different European countries here during those 8 days. So a lot of experiences for your first sailing on the river with Viking. Secondly, the romantic Danube, one of our all-time favorites, another 8-day cruise between Budapest and Regensburg. Now, this itinerary in past days has been a little bit different. It used to go all the way to Nuremberg, but we are sailing now to Regensburg, which enables us to have an extra day overnight in Vienna. And let me tell you, this is amazing. You're going to appreciate that. It's going to come in very, very handy since, Vienna has so many things to offer for the visitor, for the traveler. So Vienna, Passau, Regensburg, my hometown, by the way, you really enjoy this amazing cruise. If you haven't sailed the Danube, this is a wonderful experience that should not be missed. And then, of course, we don't only have shorter cruises of 8 days, we also have those longer journeys. For example, the 15 days on the Grand European Tour between Amsterdam and Budapest. And again, a great mix of large metropolitan cities and small town Germany, Austria, Netherlands, you name it, right? Cities like Nuremberg, Bamberg, Cologne is along the way. The beautiful little gems like Rothenburg ob der Tauber, one of the most beautiful cities in Europe, year after year being voted for. Now, as for the ships itself, very contemporary. These are small ships, like I said, 190 passenger tops. And they're very functional, beautiful, open and airy. They're contemporary. So you see the design examples here, light-filled spaces that are really beautiful, spacious staterooms. And again, from our entry-level standard staterooms all the way up to the beautiful suites, 2-person occupancy in each room. So that I want to put out there. They're relaxing public areas, and it really evokes the Viking heritage. You will find a lot of design element that remind you that you are on a beautiful Viking ship. Now, the staterooms itself, I mentioned a couple of those categories that we have. These are state-of-the-art with all the amenities that one can wish for, plush mattresses, king-size mattresses that can be easily separated and converted into 2 beds if needed. They're perfect retreats to begin your day refreshed. Absolutely amazing amenities like 110 and 220 volts, just to name a few. Free Wi-Fi, interactive TV, complimentary movies and what have you. Just to give you a couple of ideas what the design looks like in the cabin, very open and airy, beautiful spacious cabins. Here our veranda stateroom, or the beautiful 2-room suites, from the veranda suites to the explorer suites. We have everything in between. And here in those rooms, again, you have completely separate 2 rooms, living room and bedroom, with a balcony on the in the bedroom, a French balcony, or the step outside veranda here in the living room. Now, I have to touch on so much different product that I'm kind of breezing through all of that. Please talk to your travel advisor, your Morris Murdock travel advisor. They're very, very well versed with Viking, everything Viking. They are the biggest seller of Viking cruises in the state of Utah. So discuss with them your travel plans and they will point you into the right direction. Now, secondly, a couple of years back, that happened in 2015, Viking started sailing on oceans as well. And for a number of years now, consecutively was voted #1 cruise line. And we've been adding ships to our folio, and those are really remarkable. I think anybody who goes onto cruisecritic.com and looks at the ratings of Viking, you will find a pattern that people are absolutely smitten and amazed with what the beautiful Viking product that we're offering here. So not only are we offering the best dining choices at sea, and you can see here some of them, the most amazing thing is that they're all included in your cruise fare, right? You do not have to pay for any of those, additionally. Whether it is the 24-hour room service, Winter Garden, Mums and Manfredi, all of those amazing foods and dining venues are included. Now, there's a few things that really differentiate Viking from other cruise lines. We do not allow kids under 18 years. So it's a grown-up experience. Most clients, most guests on board, you will find age 55 and older. So a really, truly grown up kind of an experience. No casinos, it is an immersion into the culture. We do a lot of learning about the art, the music, the destination, the history of the destination that we're visiting along the way. And then all of our explorations have that as a common pattern, right? And there's so many things that we include. For example, the free Wi-Fi, the laundrettes. You can do laundry on board, at no extra cost. That's all included. No smoking, no waiting in lines anywhere. So overall, Viking is a cruise line known for not having any nickel and diming involved whatsoever. You pretty much know what you're spending before you go onto the ship. As for the design, it's a logical continuation of what we've been doing on Viking rivers, right? Serene Scandinavian spaces, again, understated, elegant, open and light-filled, airy, filled with history, art, literature, and culture from the regions that we're visiting. Just to give you an example what they look like on the interior. Here you have these amazing atrium, which is kind of like the center of the ship, the heart of the ship. The beautiful pool deck, which we can retract the roof here. And again, remember what I said, there's no kids. So this is really a relaxing environment for folks that want to immerse themselves into the destination. There is no party bands, no pool parties, no animators. Those kind of things are just not a theme that you will find of Viking. Very classy and sophisticated. However, it's a casual experience, right? So you don't need to bring any tuxedo or suit and tie. None of that you will need on Viking whatsoever. Now, Viking prides itself with having the most outside dining space or semi-outside dining space on all of the ocean cruise line based on space available in relation to the passengers on board. So now this becomes really interesting in times of, infectious diseases. You want to be able to spread out and to social distance with the ability to open up the doors in the dining room. That is easily possible, right? We're spreading out on these ships. They offer a lot of room. We have the most outside dining space of all of the cruise lines out there. And the Aquavit Terrace that we have on rivers that we also feature on Viking Oceans allows you to dine outside and to really spread out and do that in a safe manner. The veranda, the staterooms on board are all veranda staterooms. There's not a single indoor room, right? Not a single inside room. So These are perfect retreats for you to unwind and relax. You have a fantastic view from anywhere on the ship. There's no obstructed views anywhere behind lifeboats or any of that, right? So Viking offers, even on the entry-level cabins, every cabin is a veranda stateroom. And that's really a very, very unusual approach that Viking has been taking. So let me show you the very entry-level cabin. This is your entry level, right? Your veranda stateroom. This is as basic as it gets, with a beautiful king-size bed, with plenty of room to spread out, with your private veranda as promised. So, and then of course you can look forward to have more space, such as the penthouse verandas, larger in footprint. You have your suites that then have living areas that are adjacent to your cabin. So, you know, the more you pay, obviously the cabin footprint will grow as well. But this is not where Viking stopped growing. You know, we announced beginning of 2020 the launch of our expedition experience. So expedition, again, a logical continuation that started on rivers, went into oceans, and now goes into the expedition market. So if you ever thought about that, if you have the Arctic and Antarctic on your bucket list, consider Viking, right? Talk to your Morris Murdock travel advisor and they will point you in the right direction. Let me show you these beautiful ships that we will be featuring: Viking Octantis and Polaris. They are small enough to get access to these polar regions, but however large enough to be very, very comfortable. They can facilitate all the exploratory missions and offer all the amenities that you would expect from a Viking ship. So talking about the explorations, right? We have a fleet of Zodiacs, military grade Zodiacs. We have a fleet of two-seater kayaks that you can either operate by paddle or oars. We have 12-seater convertible ribs that can take passengers or travelers a little further away into the bays, into the areas where penguins are breeding, those kind of things. And it doesn't end there. You have 2 6-seater submarines on each of these vessels. And what's really amazing is they're completely free. They're included in your fare. So we do not nickel and dime you. Any of these vessels and crafts are included for you to use and participate absolutely free. I'm going to take you also a little bit behind the scenes here and show you how safe these vessels are. The hangar is the way you board all your Zodiacs and your exploration vessels like the ribs. So you would board them inside the ship, buckle down, gets all secure and safe before you're being launched safely and slowly into the ocean. It doesn't get safer than that. So safety first, as always with Viking, is very, very big. And I just wanted to show you how easy and safe it is to board these boats and crafts for your exploration. Now, as for the comfort on these expedition vessels, take a look at our beautiful Nordic balcony stateroom. Here, these feature ample space and, of course, a beautiful indoor viewing platform, which brings you as close as possible to nature, to the outside. Wouldn't make sense to have a veranda there in the Arctic or Antarctic, but we built this viewing platform into your cabin. So plenty of room for you available here in those Nordic cabins. Nordic penthouse, larger in footprint. And of course, we're also offering amazing dining venues on these vessels as well. And as always, these are completely included for you. With your cruise fare. Now, we have been very, very busy at Viking and launched also Viking Mississippi. So kind of like in a sequence of very few weeks, we opened up Viking Mississippi. Now a wonderful new experience on the Mississippi, completely designed and reimagined by Viking. And you see here brand new ships. Now, these are not paddle wheelers. This is really a new generation of ships. And for the first sailing season in 2022, we're offering 4 different itineraries ranging from 8 days to 15 days, which would be the entire Mississippi River all the way from St. Paul down to the Delta. And then different segments based on the season, right? Because there's seasons that prevent us from going there up in the winter. So we're going to stay in the winter time further in the south. Now, For the Viking Mississippi, a wonderful, wonderful ship that facilitates more passengers and is significantly larger than our European river ships. So the staterooms that you will find on Viking Mississippi are clearly leaned on and based on the Viking Ocean staterooms. So award-winning design for those staterooms. And what's really amazing is there's now also designated cabins that are ADA accessible from our French balcony rooms that are fully ADA accessible. There will be elevators on board. So please talk to your travel advisor for details. They will have all the details available for you. To the Explorer suites that also have space and will be available, some of them for ADA guests as well. Now, before I conclude today and before I come to the end of my presentation, a brief presentation, I admit, but I wanted to give you a little bit of information on our health and safety protocol. Moving forward, obviously, we have to wait for government officials and for agencies to approve the cruise industry going back into operation. Many countries are still shut down overseas, but there's good signals out there. You know, some of them are opening up in the Adriatic. So I just want to tell you what we have been doing at Viking to be ready when the time comes to sail again. Now, let me tell you, with the availability that you see on Viking, I would highly recommend, and common sense kind of looks into some cruises being affected by 2021, obviously still, but 2022, if you're planning to travel again, now is the time to book. Do not wait much longer. Talk to your advisors to find your space, to kind of look into availability if this is on your bucket list, to go forward with your booking sooner than later. Now, the Viking safety and health protocol that is unlike anything I have ever seen before. Now, to go out, because none of us is a professional when it comes to the medical field, we needed help. And this help came in form of Dr. Rachel Bono. She's a medical doctor. She is a board-certified trauma surgeon. And not only that, she's also a retired vice admiral of the United States Navy Medical Corps. So a high caliber officer who joins our ranks. She is a retired admiral, joins our ranks, and she oversees the protocol here and oversees the implementation of these measures. Now, the goal here is absolutely to minimize the risk of infection on board and to slowing the spread of COVID and other illnesses, right? That is absolutely her mission. And Dr. Bono is instrumental in the restart of the operation with a focus on public health. That goes without saying. So I don't want to go into Dr. Bono's long and amazing looking biography, but let me tell you, we're very excited to have her on our team. We are absolutely amazed already by the implementations that she has established and by the changes that we have seen already coming through that we know of, and there will be much more coming. Now, our Switzerland owned and registered ships, they only feature 190 passengers. So very, very small guests to begin with, right? Our ocean vessels only feature 930 passengers, and smaller ships offer by default a safer environment than those large mega ships, right? There's no interior staterooms on our ships either. So every ship has access to outside views. And what's absolutely amazing and remarkable and absolutely necessary, that there is no shared air between staterooms or common area and the staterooms. So every cabin has its own air condition with fresh air. Because as we know, viruses are airborne, right? Now, we have to look at all components of travel, and it starts with the air travel. We do have amazing partners on the air segment. We're one of the largest purchasers of flights. If you have sailed with Viking, you know that a lot of the value that we offer is in the discounted air. And, what we are able to do here is to provide a seamless transfer. So if you have arranged your air through Morris Murdock with Viking, the flights will receive complimentary airport transfers. And here again, we will ensure smaller group transfers, right? The travel on motor coaches that are freshly sanitized in between every transfer. And we're also able to physically space passengers out on those motor coaches and on board as well. So that goes right into the check-in, where we have assigned boarding times based on your flight arrivals, right? You will have the counters spread out to give you distance to the next guest. Touch-free online check-in will be available as well. And of course, there will be a quick health check, health questionnaire, thermometer, touchless thermometers to check temperatures. But it doesn't end there. We also have non-invasive PCR tests. They're very, very easy to conduct, so it's not this uncomfortable nose swab. If you ever had one of those, they're not the most convenient thing to do. PCR testing is a saliva testing. So you give us a saliva probe that will be tested, and then within absolute tops 4 hours, we have the results of those. Now let's talk about these tests for a second. On Viking Oceans, we have been the absolute first cruise line that has complete installation of full-scale PCR laboratories on our ship. So we have the equipment, we have the staff on board to test crew and passenger, if necessarily, daily. So it's a very non-invasive testing with saliva. And that can be done daily, conducted to test for COVID or other infectious diseases as well. Now, these laboratories are, as I said, installed. Some of the ships are already finished, more to come. By the time we are able to sail, they will be on all ocean vessels, right? So not only passengers, not only guests will be tested, but also crew, vendors, bus drivers, anybody who will be in touch with guests or Viking staff. So on our river ships, we have partnered with a strong network of shoreside laboratories. So even here, we will be able to do daily testing if possible by saliva testing. PCR method will apply here as well. And we will have within hours all the results, if necessarily daily. Going further than that, there will be temperature checks on the ships daily and very effortless. You won't even know this is happening because there are automated thermal cameras on the ship, on the hallways, that will automatically check temperatures of guests throughout the ship. Now, with all these precautions, they're really geared towards minimizing the risk of illness, but also to prevent the spread. Now, the medical centers on board have been already state of the art, and we're talking oceans, have been already state of the art, but they even have been upgraded to more specialized equipment. There will be 24/7 hotlines available to our river ships, and they will be staffed by doctors. So to really give the most and thorough coverage to each ship and every destination that we're sailing to. Fresh air, as I mentioned, is key to prevent the spread, right? So in your cabin, you can expect to have fresh air in every area of the ship in your cabin, purified air that has been treated. Each cabin's air has been treated by UVC lights and high density filters, which kill 99.99% of all airborne viruses and bacteria. This is really the most comprehensive and state-of-the-art installation of anything that I have ever seen. Matter of fact, I feel more safe on a Viking ship than I feel in my own home because I don't have any of those filters. Now, obviously, we will have to also go with the standard measures such as physical distancing. Therefore, we have floor markers throughout the ship to encourage social distancing, right? You do not have to wear the mask at your table or at the bar counter, but entering common areas, this might be necessary for the time being, for the foreseeable future. Now, you will also notice a lot of surface cleanings and deep cleanings throughout the day, throughout the night. It doesn't end there. Our ships are the first also to use new sanitation robots that will roam the hallways, the public areas with and flood them with UVC lights at night when we're all sleeping. The common areas, the public areas, the gyms, that is an industry first. And again, to eliminate 99.99% of all viruses. You can expect in the public areas, in restaurants, abundant options for all alfresco dining to spread out, to give yourself some room in between tables. The ocean cruises can always enjoy complimentary 24-hour room service if you would like to dine in the privacy of your cabin. It doesn't end there. Dining venues will absolutely allow for physical distancing. And the self-service stations have been replaced by staff service, and additional table service will be available also in the bars and lounges. Now, many of these shows and entertainment that were only available in person are now streamed into your cabin, so you can enjoy that in the privacy of your cabin as well. And don't have to go to the theater if you wish to avoid that. Now, obviously, with all the cultural immersion and the cultural lectures that we do, there might be additional venues or additional performances that are being offered as well to enable more guests to social distance and still attend in person. Now, spa will remain open. There will be appointments for to ensure proper distancing. So will be the gyms. Gyms will also remain open. We will control the traffic to make sure that it won't get overcrowded. And then afterwards, there will also be a special staff in there to make sure that we deep clean every machine and every items, weights, or anything that has been touched during the workout session. So there will be staff that make sure that all the surfaces are cleaned in between each guest's use. And that is pretty much all I have for you today. I hope you got a little bit of insight on Viking's plans, got a little bit of information here. Like I said, we all can't wait to welcome you back. Talk to your Morris Murdock travel advisor. They're fantastic people, great partners of Viking. Again, they're the largest seller of Viking in the state of Utah. They know what they're doing. I encourage you to talk to them. Say hello. I miss being in Utah. I miss traveling Utah, beautiful state. And with that, I want to say farewell, and I see you hopefully in the spring of 2022 on the next show, hopefully then in person, right? Have a wonderful time and safe travels. Be well, be healthy. Bye-bye.